Some basic meanings of 8008 are: can you ignore emotions and thoughts while being a hasty prude? North of the west above. Crystallizes and fixates her thoughts on south or east and north below. We are a vehicle of the solution applied in a working theory of suspending actions to make decisions. East below is for a powerful and elastic reflection of transmitting the initiations innocently upon the northwest or north above. And we have a wider selection of verses to go over for this one. Surah 8:008. لِيُحِقَّ الْحَقَّ وَيُبْطِلَ الْبَاطِلَ وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْمُجْرِمُونَ. Towards verifying the truth and what makes the falsehood coming in the falsehood, even if the ones who sin dislike it. And Surah 80:08. وَمَّنْ جَاءَكَ يَسْعَىٰ. And yet for whom drew near to thee, coming eagerly. John 8:11, and at least, like one version, we have, she said, "No man, Lord." And Jesus said unto her, "Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more." And 2 Corinthians 5:5, "Now he that hath wrought us for the selfsame thing is God, who also hath given unto us the earnest of the Spirit." One's own spirit, right? Titus 2:8. Titus 2:8. Sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. Hebrews 13:10. We have an altar, whereof they have no right to eat, which serve the tabernacle. Revelation 4:3. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone, and there was a rainbow round about the throne in sight like unto an emerald. And whatever you want to do with the basic meaning of any of the words or the context in general is up to you. Your beliefs and actions upon what's mentioned here are the context, And the first phrase we have here is January 3rd, 2013, 12 o'clock, was a yellow helicopter. Well, if I can share in the woods, seeing a blueberry in a triangle, a yellow triangle, I can, some people on an outside thing. Well, a yellow helicopter is not as usual, so. God is with me when I speak. Gematria has shown me that once you believe, signs are everywhere. Well, depends on what your pareidolia leads you towards, right? Or if you're using it outside of that. God with me is not what Emmanuel means. Nu all. Got to switch it around. And anything that ends in that YH, AL ending, or any other name of God in Semitic languages proves you're not talking about God, isn't it? Everyone here apparently reads and writes English. So we are together in the knowledge of English gematria. How cool. And English gematria is more fluid in how they decide number values than other languages. But if any man thinks he is a worshiper of God, but does not keep a tight rein on his tongue, he is deceiving his own heart, and his worship is futile. Well, if there's a flaw in one area, not in another, it's trying to act like, everything counts, right? Gematria only works for Hebrew. Entries on Pentateuch and Talmud. Well, why not? Nebiim and Ketubim, right? But Goy try to make vague correlations and find no truth. Well, I don't know how you could say no truth, but see, we had to have the opposite there. And please restrain yourself, even though they're in the wrong for calling you that, just because you're not of a particular birth or a particular faith, saying you've completely turned your back on God. The Guya, as in Aramea the term would be. Yeah, don't fall for their hate speech, because they want to look like the victims when you lash out. Jesus states that blasphemy against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven in the age to come. Hating the Holy Spirit is blasphemy. Now, differing in belief or sentiment or whatnot is not the same as blasphemy. We can look at this in a Gnostic sense, the Holy Spirit being, the part of yourself, or at least the the messenger angel or whatnot, whatever your context. So the spiritual message coming through. Now, what you do with it and how you interpret it, that could be something different. But people need to stop talking like blasphemy is the same thing as expressing a different faith. It's not. It makes me mad that I still want to join the club, because, oh, how they shine. I envy their power and money. Well, these things are tools, right? Not for themselves, but Jesus tried to show the hypocrisy of organized religion when it is concerned with wealth. Well, religion being the relationship between two, or with or whatnot, the creation, and with the creator, regulated whatever, it has to be concerned with wealth. You have a piecemeal claim for religion if it doesn't concern that, but if that's the end all, yeah. 25, 14, 25, 14, 14, 14, 9, 5, 5. There's other orders that you can put that in, of course. My partner is a controlling psychopath. So, no, I will not run to you until you bring me flowers plus apologize. Latuya Bay Ack. 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 Raving lunatics, I blocked. Months ago, follow me around, ranting in my replies, piggybacking off of unsuspecting comments, and I'll never even see it. Well, then stop being a keyboard warrior and stop being paranoid about what you didn't see. I mean, I'd like to see some of the comments that people leave and then, pull back on sometimes, but you don't need to get all persecution complex on it. How the hell would I know? LOL, it's not like the astral is complete yet. It's a living thing just like the internet. Well, okay, some people talk about the astral like it's the realm of the jinn, or even just the shayateen min al jinn of, the dot of us. So yeah, there's still stuff being done, you could say, but or if it's your emotional connection projection, well, you're building up your infernal kingdom, as people would call it, or you're not building up such a thing. So hell is the right word to use, but it's sounds like a misguided statement. Not necessarily evil, but negative reflections, which could be damaging if you don't know how to control them. Decode, very interesting. The reply in respect of Krishna, obviously the reason David Davies and I are now in contract. Where the north wind meets the sea, a river full of memory, sleep, my darling queen, safe, my darling queen, safe and sound, when all is lost, and then all is found. Is that part of some myth or some song, or what's going on there? And remember that a sage doesn't consult the oracle. A sage directs the oracle. And if you want to share some of your experience and elaborations upon what I've shared here or elsewhere, comment.